Great evening to ya. It's your girl Key. A quick live before I toddle off home, and tonight I'm going to be taking any of your questions about fear. Fear is a massive one. Fear is absolutely huge. And recently I said in one of my posts that your relationship with fear will determine the quality of your life. And if you don't believe me, well, that's cool if you don't want to believe me, but your relationship with fear is a massive factor in terms of what you are prepared to do to have, what would I say? To develop yourself, to say yes to people, to say no to people. You have to look at your relationship with fear. Because if you have a relationship with fear where fear governs your life and you live in your head and you overthink things, then this will have, well, I believe, a detrimental impact on the quality of your life. And often what I've noticed for lots of people is that their worlds get smaller and smaller and smaller when you live by fear. So the challenge is, what steps can you take to break out of fear? Now, if this speaks to you, if you know fear has a grip on your life and it keeps you playing small or it keeps you stuck, feel free to ask me. I am here, it's live, it's free. You can ask me right now about fear and what you need to do to overcome it. Now, let's be real. Some fears are massive, some fears are big, and some fears you cannot see your way out of. You know, I've been in situations, and I will talk about myself, because obviously if I talk about myself, I don't betray anybody's confidence. One of the things that I've been encouraged to think about is whether, you know, it's always best for me to come from my own viewpoint. Like I said, I won't be contradicting or, you know, dishonoring anybody in that way, shape or form. I know there's been times in my life when I've been gripped by fear, when I felt like there was no way out. And it's all good and well now I'm beyond it to say to you, there is always a way. But the truth is, there is always a way. It's one of the reasons why, you know, obviously I'm an advocate of seeing a professional. You know, sometimes you may think that your problem is just like there's no way out. There's often a way out. But sometimes when we're in it by ourselves, we get tunnel vision. It's one of the reasons why, you know, speaking to others, getting counsel is really important. However, if we have a problem and we're shamed by it, or if it's taboo, it means that we don't necessarily have access to other people to be able to ask, right? And that makes sense because we're embarrassed or we feel fearful about it. And this is one of the biggest problems that causes people problems, is that what happens is when we feel that we've got no one to turn to, this is where we are all by ourselves. When we are all by ourselves with our personal issues, especially when they're related to fear, this is when it is highly likely we will become isolated. And it's usually in these instances that we have nobody to talk to, no one to talk to, so we are on our own. This is never great for greatness. It's not helpful, and it's not helpful to you. So the secret is, how do you break out of that? One of the ways you have to break out of that is you have to overcome your own ego. Ego, edge God out. That's where you think you can't ask anybody because it will be embarrassing, or you'll be shamed, or no one will get it. The real challenge is, in life, most people are often fighting the same issues. The problem is we all think that we are alone. Now, does this speak to anybody? I ain't seen one heart or one light go up at all, and I feel like I'm just here talking to myself. If this resonates with somebody, please interact with me. You know I am for the people, and I need some love. I need a little bit of juice. I need something from you out there, because otherwise it just feels like your girl Key is out here all by herself, and that's never good for us. It's never great for our greatness. I need that interaction. I need that bit of feedback. Fear will keep you playing small. Now, if this speaks to you, and, you know, this is one, you know, I'm being abstract at the moment, but your relationship with fear will determine your life. And if, for example, you know, we end up, and the thing is with fear will often have you stuck. It will have you stuck because you get scared of doing anything different. And this is where our worlds can get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so it's always about what's the small little things that you can begin to do, small little steps to help you begin to create an alternative reality for yourself. Our fears, if they control our lives, then it's not healthy for us. There's no two ways around it. It's just not healthy for us when our fears control our lives. The secret is, how do you embrace fear? And I wrote this down the other day. And you know what? I think one of the things I aim to do one day is I aim to just stop for about a year and start to bring all the ideas I have to life. Remember, I see people one-to-one. And what that privileges me with is that I see individuals, but over in the long run, I start to develop theories. And what I believe is there's a formula for fear. There is a simple formula for fear. So anytime you experience fear in your life, if you follow the formula, you'll know exactly what to do, no matter what circumstance you find yourselves in. So if that is of interest to you, feel free to inbox your girl Key. It's your girl Key. I am here. I am a psychotherapist. Today I saw this t-shirt in my wardrobe and I thought, I haven't worn it all summer. And I decided that in these last little days of sunshine, I best put it on. Otherwise, I will not be able to wear it, because, you know, winter is soon. Hot on the tracks. If you've got any questions, look, I've got questions. I can't see the questions coming up on here, but they're coming this way. Like, my assistant did this. Here's this nice top. Thank you, Fran. I'm appreciating that. Patricia Buckland, thank you. Patricia says, I fight my fear, everything is fine for a while, and then I get really exhausted and unable to continue for a while. Then the cycle begins again. That's very interesting. What I've noticed when I face my fear is, I know the voice kicks in, you know, the voice of what if this and what if that and all of that stuff. So I just expect the voice. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, give myself a like, give me a like, give me a like. I just expect the voice. I just know the voice loves me and I've learned to love it. So I expect that little voice of doubt, that little self-doubt voice. But what I've also noticed is the closer I get to pushing through my own resistance, is the more that voice kicks off. It gets louder. It has more concerns, greater concerns. I believe the ambition of the voice is to get me to stay where I am, where life is comfortable and predictable. Comfortable and predictable. So there you go. You love your earrings. Thank you, sister. I got these from that shop where, I don't even know the name of it, but they got, like, it's coloured in the shop. So they have coloured areas for earrings and stuff. So I appreciate that. So what I would say to you is, where was I? I was talking about my fear. And when I know I'm getting closer to a goal, my fear kicks in more. If any of you have ever had this, and I had this when I was getting close to finishing my degree, I literally sabotaged finishing my degree. Because the fear was kicking in, and so what else happened was self-sabotaging behaviours. Patricia, this might speak to you. You have to learn to work out how you uniquely work with fear in your life. I know if I'm getting closer to a goal, I'm more likely to self-sabotage. So it's at these times that I have to make sure I'm tapping into my support network, my trusted inner circle. I know when I'm getting closer to the goal, I know that voice in my head. And if you're anyone on the Pain to Purpose, you'll know about Cruella de Vil. You know that your girl Key is about welcoming our harsh inner critic, because we know that voice is an important voice inside of us. It's our internal navigation system. So we need to befriend that voice. Listen to what your inner critic has to say to you. Note it down. Don't let it just carry on inside your head. The reality is, when you face that fear, This is the formula for fear. Develop your own formula for fear, so you'll know anytime you're leveling up, you can expect you can expect the voice. You can expect that the voice will worry about what everybody else will say. It's one of the things the voice does. And this is one of the reasons why we say, I don't care what everybody else has to say, because it ain't about anybody else. That's when you start to do your self-pleasing. But we also know when you start to please yourself, it has a problem for everybody else, especially if being a people pleaser. Because the people who have benefited from your people pleaser are going to kick off. There might be a riot in your house because everybody is used to you doing for them. Everybody is used to you not doing for you. That's why when you start to do for you, what would they call you? Selfish. Now, if they call you selfish, and when they call you selfish, you think, oh my God, I'm being selfish, then you're going to abandon doing for yourself. That means you're going to do for them. We know the more that you do for them is the more it makes you depressed. This is the recipe. These are the recipes, and this is how people make themselves ill. We want to be living our best life. That's why we've got to find a formula for fear. Does anybody else out there understand what I'm talking about? Or am I just running my gums tonight and no one don't get it? Please feel free to let your girl Key know, because you know I'm a talker. I could talk for days. I am a very good talker, so I have been told. Anyhow, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about the formula for fear. The formula for fear is you have to work it out for yourself, but there are certain things that I definitely know will happen to you. I know your inner voice will kick off, and I know that voice will have lots of things to say to you. I know it will belittle you. I know it will find all manner of issues for you to stay stuck. One of the things that is going to be an issue for anyone trying to change is that it will evoke unintended consequences. Now, we spoke about unintended consequences last week. So if you need to see that, you can go to the Girl Key YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers and I just need 21 more people. Whoop, whoop. Starting from the bottom, now we're here. Anyhow, so what am I also saying to you? So you've got to watch how your fear kicks off. And then at the end, what we have to be mindful of, we need to be mindful of is... Oh, I've got another comment. You've got to be careful and notice all the weird and wonderful ways that you find to stop. And look, all these comments are here and none of them are here. I'm going to have to talk to Claire about this. Me and Claire are going to have words. Here we got Mrs. Barlow. Spoke to you about my fear of being visible on social media. You taught me to be visible and get funky with the block button. So I've completed my website and set up a Facebook page. I'm in the process of thinking about the types of posts that will fit with me and my vibe. Get over my quickly just by reaching out and asking a professional. Zoe, big yourself up. I'm honoured. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you just stepped out. Remember, Zoe, thank you for that. That's another thing you've just reminded me of. The fear doesn't go away. You step in spite of the fear. Step in spite of the fear. The fear does not go away. Shah Pink says, fear can keep you tucked away in your comfort zone. Faith is what pushes you leaps and bounds. Hashtag scary stuff. Shah Pink, we are living on the wild side. You are right. I believe the antidote to fear is faith. You have to have faith. Let's sing it for George Michael. Rest in peace. Yes. So you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith, man. You got to have faith to tip the balance. Otherwise, fear will dominate your life and your life will get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're going to be one of them people with that funky energy. You come around, you got bitterness coming out of you. And I have to give you a wide berth. Let's say wide berth to all those people who got that funny energy. Where you have to just keep on moving like soul to soul. Claire, fear makes me anxious and worry, I guess. Yeah, fear does that to a lot of us. You know, I'm going through a process at the moment and I can fear my fear. I can hear what it has to say to me. I can hear the voice. It finds everything to worry about. But the challenge is staying stuck ain't working. That's the challenge. You can stay stuck where you're more likely to become depressed, where anxiety will grip you, or you can take small bite-sized steps into your fear. I'm not talking about just jump off and like put yourself in a panic zone. Small, little, consistent steps. Claire, you may well benefit from being on the Pain into Purpose course. We do it all again in November. All early bird tickets have gone now. So if you're interested, do have a look. I should probably post it here, but hey, if that is in my capacity to do so. But like I said, you know, your relationship with fear determines the quality of your life. And like I said before, sometimes you have to step in spite of the fear. Just step inside of the fear, because the fear will not go away. This is one of the reasons why I encourage people to befriend your fear. Befriend your fear and start to learn how fear uniquely works in your relationships, in your relationship with yourself. Like I said, I know my fear comes up the most as I get nearer to breaking through, that the fear kicks in even more. So now I don't let it stop me. I just see it as symbolic. I think I must be near because I'm getting really scared. And we push on through. And we talk to our trusted inner circle. Shah Pink, I call my voice Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Shah, naming that part of you is very important. Zoe's talking about near completion. Self-sabotage sucks and blows at the same time. I'm making friends with it now and telling it where to get off when I'm feeling brave, at least. But remember also that voice, our fear-based voice, which I call our harsh inner critic. Remember that voice, it does have a good quality. It wants us to stay safe. It wants us to stay in the comfort zone. It wants us to stay where life is predictable. So it has a good intention, but it's just got too extreme. So we appreciate that you want us to be safe. We appreciate you don't want us to be humiliated. However, you're getting a bit out of hand. That's all. You have to communicate with your fear, people. You got to communicate with your fear. Fran, keeping notes in a journal about fear. How to readjust around the feelings of fear. Most definitely. And if you are journaling, I would really recommend the morning pages. Morning pages is especially beautiful for giving you a structure around your fear. Dawn, I get it. Do you get it? What do you get, Dawn? Is it the thing about fear, embracing the fear? Let me know specifically what you mean so I understand. I thank you for your comments, and you know what? I really appreciate that, because I did think it was just me out here, me on mid-Todd. So those are my thoughts about fear. I don't know if I can summarize them particularly well, but one is you need to understand that anytime you set a goal for yourself, once you set a goal, 2, expect your fear to kick in. Your fear will have a voice. You need to start to note down what your voice says. Write it down. Capture what it says. Some of the things it says is absolutely ludicrous, but don't worry about that. Just keep writing it down. Personally, I know when I'm closer to a goal, the fear kicks in. 3rd tip about fear. Depending on the fear it is, because for all of us, it's not going to be possible for us to just take action. For some of us, it's not going to be wise to take action. So be mindful. Remember, this is just generic information here. I don't know your personal circumstance. If you want me to know your personal circumstance, you go inbox your girl Key, or go to the Key for Change website, set yourself up a call. But what I would say to you is, action is crucial, even how small it is. I did a video today talking about the seeds I sowed outside my office. You know, rather than counting the days of lockdown, which made me feel fearful, I decided to plant some plants, some trees, some flowers, because that made me feel more optimistic. So you have to learn to work with yourself. Remember, limit your news, limit your newspapers, because often, especially in our times that we're in, they can make us feel fearful, and there isn't a lot of clarity at the moment. So if you're someone who consumes that kind of information, you need to also be careful, because that can also be just equally as unsettling. Fear, you also need to work your people pleasing. If you're a people pleaser, please inbox me. please inbox me, because people pleasing is another form of fear. You fear that people will judge you. And when you people please, what you do is you want them to like you. And when you want people to like you, you will be displeasing yourself. So you'll gain in one place, but you will certainly lose in another. You have to learn how to be your own best friend. Sometimes we have to stand alone. It's your girl Key. It's 10:30. It's been a privilege being here. I'm thanking you for your comments. Thank you for your interaction. It's your girl Key. I am a psychotherapist. People come to me with life conundrums. They're not sure of the way forward. Sometimes we may feel helpless. We're totally baffled and we can't see our way out. I believe my duty is to help people to get clarity so they understand exactly what they're in, and so they consider the choices that they have for moving forward. The rest is up to you. So if that speaks to you and fear has a grip of your life, if you play small, if you're watching others achieve great things, you're scared to step out, don't worry, your girl Key has been here. This is why I think I'm particularly great at helping people to navigate change, because I know what it's like when life has been difficult, when you've been scared, stuck, if you've been in relationships that have not been healthy for you and you've struggled how to let go. I get it. I've been there. The reality is we all have choices, and the reality is often we just never got the love and encouragement we needed when we were little kids. And so as adults, it becomes our responsibility, I believe, to sometimes reparent ourselves, encourage ourselves, and sometimes we just need a companion on that journey. I can be your companion if you choose. Anyhow, I think it's bedtime for me now. Do take care of you. Remember, fear is your friend. Embrace fear. Take small, consistent steps. And if you're really, really stuck, get help. Because when you get help, you got somebody else looking at your issue from a whole detached perspective. And that can provide a wonderful opportunity for change. Do take care of you, because if you don't, no one else will.